What up, y'all? I hope you're doing well. We're here for our weekly energy oracle forecast. I had started shuffling and a card already came out, and oddly enough, this was in my own weekly reading for myself, but support. And I love the deep red of these flowers. Looks like they're knockout roses, but it just makes me feel like deep, caring, understanding support is around us as far as like an emotional network, maybe more deeper than we think. Like this deep, rich support is there with feeling and sincerity, vitality, fertility, life force, like passion coming through. Every day during our weekly pick a card, we've had almost every day anyway, this week, we've had wands coming up. Fire, passion, energy, spirit, drive. So I think that we're really, tuning in and focusing our attention on how spirit is supporting us through the way that the universe manifests its physical expression of that. I think that it's sending us the resources that we need, the people that we need, in any way that we need in any category of our life. And so it's just like up to us to focus on seeing and appreciate the support that we do have, and then declaring it out loud and declaring our gratitude for it and acknowledging it out loud actually creates magnetism to attract more and more and more. So again, like we're not doing this all alone, and we can actually make it a practice. And I've been doing this for at least the last year, like really steadily and like consistent on a daily basis, but remembering to say my prayers out loud and to ask for support and help with things, and declare my gratitude for things, and ask for help in not just changing my outer circumstances to get support to help me through, but to make me stronger, to be able to be smarter and stronger and have more endurance, to have more, like, to be able to lean on the creator for a sense of inner strength and not just outsource the support that you're looking for from, other people or, tools and resources and things like that. Sometimes the first thing that we need to do is turn inward and connect to source through our daily spiritual practice and that devotion. But the more that we do that consistently, the more that we build a connection and a relationship with source, with Holy Spirit. And so we start to make the connection of cause and effect in our life. And we see how, okay, when I make changes in myself and I push through my fears, or I transcend, a thought loop that was going to take me down a victimized path of sadness and self-loathing and self-pity. And instead, it's like, no, I see that I don't want to go there. I'm choosing otherwise. So we're like drawing on our inner sense of strength, and we're drawing on source, our creator, to give us that sense of fulfillment and support and encouragement. And so we notice that, like, okay, so when I make these changes in myself, and then all of a sudden in my outer world, like my outer world reflects the work that I'm doing on my inside. So it's like I'm showing up for myself, I'm supporting myself, I'm giving myself the consistency that I need, and I'm seeing that creator mirrors that back to me. And creator is always there, right? It's just that we turn ourselves off. We turn around, we don't see, we forget. And so we shut ourselves off from being in union with the creator through forgetfulness, right? Through our vibration suddenly, getting kind of wonky, and we fall out of affinity with the light, right? And so we don't feel supported anymore. But that support is always permeating everywhere, all around us. So the moment that we can remember that and reconnect with it, it's like there we are again, we're connected with the Creator, right? Then we're in the miracle zone. So the more that we make it a conscious intention to connect with the Creator, to be with the Creator, then the more by default we will be supported, because we will be, in the protection of the surrounding light of the Creator. I do feel, though, that all of this inner healing and the deep inner work is just making us feel such like an increase in enthusiasm and vitality and motivation and inspiration. Ooh, okay. I think that, oh my gosh, everything that we were just talking about. So worship came up next. Prayer, right? I see this character, and, it's like this mirror image. And it's like just what we were talking about. It's like we either have our back to the Creator, and we forget that the Creator is with us in any given moment, even in the difficult times, right? It's in those times where we are actually standing face to face with the Creator. And if we can recognize it in those darkest moments, that is the most powerful moment for change, to reveal a miracle, right? So we are prostrating ourselves, and we're surrendering our ego's need to control, to have answers, to have everything all sorted out and planned out and safe and within the lines. And we are trusting, and we're letting go, and we're letting Creator take the space, right? And take the lead. We've done all we can, to a certain degree, and now it's up to us to let go. It's in God's hands now, and pray for our desires, pray for what we need, pray for support to change, to transform, right? The transformation is happening. And every time, every little layer that we transform, it's like we open up ourselves to greater miracles. We start having more alignment with our higher self. So it's like we're embodying this higher self, and we're moving into this up-leveled experience for our life, and all these blessings are coming from it. But yeah, we do need to make that a prayer practice, and the power of our prayers increases when we say our prayers out loud. We share affinity with the light of the Creator through our ability to take thought and create something from nothing through our words, right? We can take an idea that started as just a spark of inspiration, and it crystallized until we could speak it and articulate it, right? And so in Kabbalah, we learn that there are 4 living kingdoms that all beings in the world are divided into. There's the mineral kingdom, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, and the speaking kingdom. Human kingdom is not called human kingdom. It's called the speaking kingdom, because that is what gives us affinity with the light of the Creator, right? Other kingdoms cannot form their consciousness into words and have conversation, right, and speech. So our words are very powerful. Our mouths are very powerful. They're a portal of life and death. This is where we eat. We bring nourishment in. So, and we have to breathe, right, through our mouths. So very powerful here. We can speak life or death through our tongue, right? So when we pray out loud and we actually visualize something already being true, the thing that we want, imagining ourselves already, overcoming a fear, or, in a state of joy and freedom from that, right? If we're overcoming an addiction, right? See yourself already being free and sober and living in a healthy, clean form of yourself, like with better energy and a clear mind, and you don't feel like crap all the time because you're not coming up and down, up and down, up and down, and trying to throw all the chaotic ends of your life together, right? If you are, wanting to call things in and opportunities, it's like see yourself in this dream opportunity that you want, and feel that it's already happened. Your soul is already leading you there because it knows that it's possible for you, that spirit has, whatever you're meant to have that's meant for you is already set aside in that bank account, right? And if your soul and heart is desiring something that is truly in alignment for you, then it's already a done deal, right? So when we pray and when we speak out loud, we visualize it's already a done deal. We get in that feeling state and we feel what it's going to feel like. And then we act in faith knowing that the means will be provided. We have to take that initial step, that leap of faith, as if it's already a done deal, without knowing, without having the certainty. That's what makes prayer that much more powerful. Another thing that gives us strength and power is to declare the Creator's greatness and glory out loud and to talk about it. If you are with another person and you're speaking to one another about the Creator's goodness, then you are protected. And not only that, you're probably going to be given favor in any given situation. So if you ever find yourself in a hairy situation, or you need to maybe align with the grace of the universe in that moment, then start talking to the person next to you about how great God is, right? And how grateful you are for all the blessings and the goodness that God has bestowed on you. Literally puts surrounding light of the divine around you, and it protects you, and it actually draws in blessing. Okay, so literally, we are leaning on the support of the Creator this week through our prayer, through our worship. And I think that when we think of worshiping God, it's people think of the people singing praise and worship songs. And that's never been my thing. I like to speak what I'm grateful for and point out things that fill me with awe and wonder. And I like to appreciate the Creator in all the ways that I see the Creator, declaring that the Creator is my source and not the job, right? Not the Creator gives me sustenance, not the job. Creator validates me, not the outer world, right? Creator gives me support. And so we're praying for that heavenly support. Followed by fire, right? So fire is related to wands. We were talking about earlier about how this week the fire is really starting. Oh, it was the depth of the red of these passionate knockout roses. The fire has been such a theme this week. Fire is purifying. It can burn away the material, the solidity of something, the denseness of something. So in that way, it can purify. It can be destructive. It can burn something out of control. But when Moses saw the burning bush, the bush was inflamed, but it was not consumed. It was perpetually burning, but without burning away. And so we, like the snake, right? The snakes are often a symbol of transformation and of growth, right? And knowledge and wisdom. So it's the more we've been transforming, the more we've been growing, the more we've been, awakening and transcending. It's been fueling this fire. It's been cleansing this negativity from the past, but it's also been reigniting our fire, our inner light, our fervor and our lust for life, and to have the wherewithal and the moxie to go out there and take the bull by the horns, and all that, the feeling of spring coming back and feeling motivated again to get out there and try something, But so much illumination and light coming in, so much revelation and awareness. I know, just this morning and yesterday, I just felt there was so much, the connections I was making in certain dynamics that I just couldn't I didn't ever see the connection before, and it just hit me. That Leo full moon, that fiery Leo moon, it like gave so much clarity and brought so much to light, particularly from the subconscious. But you may have found out things, in the outer world as well that were unbeknownst to you. And our next card is empathy. So part of this cleansing and this renewal is helping us renew our empathy. If you are like a psychic empath, you may have had experienced like empath burnout. I'm just going to call it that now. Never heard of that before, but it's the way I'm going to describe it. Where like before you know that you're an empath, and before you know how to create boundaries around protecting your energy and your identity and your needs and your feelings, you're just an open, leaking, taking on everybody else's feelings, sinking ship, all of your feelings and needs are leaking out, you're depleted, and you have no idea that it's going on. Because empaths, people who are psychically empathic, they feel everyone around them so acutely that it is as if they are feeling everyone's feelings themselves. And when you don't know that you're feeling everyone else's feelings, you just think you are full of feelings and they are erratic and they don't make any sense. And it's draining, it's so exhausting and also confusing. And so you end up feeling like, oh, I can feel all these people's discomfort. And so you're always wanting to pacify and fix the situation or be the mediator, or, oh, I don't care where we go to dinner. I can be happy doing anything. Like it matters more to y'all. Like y'all will be upset if we don't go to so we can just do whatever, So you end up abandoning yourself and losing yourself, right? And so then it's like in an overcorrection, in a defense mechanism, the wounded empath starts to be very closed off and they kind of lose their empathy. They're like, I don't have sympathy for you. Like, you have no idea what I carry around all the time. You can get really resentful and bitter because no one's protected you. You have left yourself completely exposed. And meanwhile, the predators and the parasites, the parasitic energies and people who are driven by, a need latch on, and everyone around you is just like siphoning your life force and energy and attention off of you until you know how to get into your own sense of self, figure out what your needs are, and you're able to say no and stop people pleasing to everyone. And it feels terrifying and scary to start working on that when you're used to being the one who's compliant and makes everyone happy. Because at some point in your mind, your subconscious has told you that that's how you earn their love. That you're not worthy just as you are without contributing. You have to be, the one who's compliant and helps everyone do all these things. So self-abandonment becomes, a wound, and others abandon you, or you perceive that they do. And so, it can cause heart blockages for the empath. And so now it's like, okay, we are not people pleasing anymore because we don't need people to validate us or pacify our needs or soothe us. We have the Creator to validate us and to soothe us, right? And so we're not looking outside of that anymore. So it's not so scary to take a risk and find out that it's not the end of the world if we tell the people around us, if we create boundaries and space, right? And say no sometimes, right? And you have to give yourself a chance to practice this as you're healing. And then you'll discover like, oh, the world didn't end. I wasn't abandoned or immediately fired or kicked out of my family or, kicked out of the friend group or whatever, for speaking your needs. And so the more that you can get comfortable taking care of yourself and being protecting yourself and being trustworthy to yourself and looking out for yourself, right? The more you feel that it's safe to let your guard down again and feel empathy for others. Because you can feel empathy again without completely being like either taken advantage of or you caving into the pressure you're putting even on yourself. It may not even be coming from another person. And then overgiving to the point where it's threatening your survival and your well-being, right? So yes, learning to set healthy boundaries helps us heal our empathic wounds so that then we can reclaim our superpower as empaths, and we can develop it with intention and with skill and set energetic boundaries that protect our energy and our individuality. Okay, let's grab one more card and then we finished. Yep, here we go. So releasing all those old patterns and those old default settings and those old tendencies, right? So, if you're empathic and people around you, if you have narcissists around you, like empaths are magnets for narcissists and energy vampires, people who are like, oh, great, an endless source of something that props me up and glorifies me. Wonderful. I can't wait to siphon this person forever. So we are breaking those patterns of enmeshment. We're releasing that, right? Enmeshment is when you feel emotionally responsible for other people. Like you have to, prop them up and hold their whole world together and make everything okay for them all the time, right? And so again, you abandon yourself and you end up depleting yourself and losing yourself in the process. So we're healing that. We're learning how to break the cycle of enmeshment. We're learning how to break our codependent patterns and relationship dynamics and release those tendencies and release the thoughts that make us think that we need to do that. We need to show up in that way. We're releasing, these things that are bugging us, these insecurities, this fear, this lack, this doubt. And we're letting it die away and we're letting it become something of nourishment, something that will be positive and regenerative. And we have growth, right? So the more that we release what's blocking us, the more we're going to grow and expand. And I love this repetition of these spinal columns, these, aligned, strong, spinal imagery, support, structure. The spinal column is the central column within the tree of life, right? Between judgment and mercy, we strive for that central column. This is the ascension and awakening of consciousness, right? This skull here, this head is crowned with new awareness, new consciousness, new growth, right? New growth cycles are coming. And in different branches of our lives, we're going to be experiencing growth everywhere, right? This whole up level is really blooming and it's coming into blossom. And the more we offload the past and the old wounds and the old baggage, as far as like when I say offload the old baggage, I mean emotional density, unforgiveness, fears that linger from the past, phobias, guilt, shame that you carry around and guilt that you carry around that perpetuates addictive tendencies or self-destructive behaviors, right? That's what I mean. I'm not meaning that, you're leaving behind everybody and everyone and everything or whatever. It's just you're letting go of all of the ghosts inside that have plagued your thoughts and feelings. It's like when you go into a new relationship with a new person, you've never even known them before, and you've got all these preconceived notions and assumptions of how it's going to go. Oh, it always goes like this, People are always, this way and that, and you're making all these assumptions based on past fears, right? Old conditioning. And you're forgetting that things can be different. They can be new. And it's sometimes like we need to like jolt ourselves into, oh, I need to change this channel. Like, I'm not stuck in this past cycle anymore. Things have changed and I can allow them to change. I'm just still on repeat up here, just used to the same mood, right? This same like, tape playing, but I can change the tape. It doesn't have to be that way anymore. So the more we release, the more we see our blessings growing, the more our life starts to come to life and come into blossom. All right, y'all, I am a sleepy girl. I'm a tired little baby. I'm just a baby. So I'm going to swaddle myself in a nice little blanket. I'm going to take a hot shower. I'm going to eat my awesome stew. I made turkey and lentil stew a couple of days ago. So that's what I'm eating on. And some challah loaf. And yeah, I'll call it an evening. I'll see y'all tomorrow for our weekly anchor message where we will get our spiritual assignments for the week. All right, y'all. Ciao.